couple of big swings. You think about how he scored the first one. I think there was a walk and then a 2-run homer. And then the next one, there's an error, 2-run homer, and also we're up 4-0. And they're hitting the ball pretty good. They hit some line drives, and they had anything to show for it. And then obviously they're in I think it was the 4th inning. We got some really big hits with 2 outs, and kind of put the game away or gave us a really comfortable lead, and didn't do much after that. Hit a few balls hard, but the at-bats weren't super good. And sometimes. And, this was one of those games that you worry about as a coach, getting ready to go on the road. You've had pretty good success, SEC play starting, and just really proud of the guys for coming out and taking care of business. Again, didn't make any mistakes really in the field or base running, and didn't give them too much. We walked them I think 3 times, and I don't know, just a good win on a Tuesday. It was good to play under the lights and really good crowd. I know the weather was good, but it was good to see all the fans out here on a Tuesday.
What's Coach doing now that the season started? That's allowed him to have a lot of success early on, maybe surprise a little bit of us given how he performed in the fall and the spring.
Yeah, we knew he was a good player. That's why we brought him in here. We tried to get him out of high school. We came in second, but then we ended up getting him. So it worked out for us. We thought he could hit, and he's strong. He's just a really good leader. Even when he wasn't playing, he was right there, helping his teammates, and it was fun to watch him in the dugout. And he came out swinging the bat, just tough out and trying to think, okay, we got to get him in the lineup. And we talked about it last offseason. If he hits, we might put him in first base. If Sousa's playing well and everybody's healthy, and we've even been working him out at third. He's been taking ground balls in pregame at third, second, and first. So he's really valuable to us, and he does a pretty good job against left-handed pitching, but he does a real good job against right-handed pitching. And I don't know. I just think it's his mentality. He thinks he's good. He's strong. He didn't get all that ball. He just flipped it into the left field bullpen, and it's been good watching him have success because he works so hard. He deserves it.
He almost hit a second home run tonight too. Is the power something that you envisioned when you signed him?
Yeah, we knew he was strong. We felt like in the fall, honestly, he swung too much for home to hit the ball out of the park. He swung too hard, and I think he was just trying to hit home runs in the fall. And he knows how to bunt. He can hit and run. Goes the other way. He can pull. And I think once he relaxed a little bit, and he feels, comfortable here, new school, and he knows he's a big part of our team, I think he's starting to, just really excel.
Is there ever a scenario where Colin Fisher might pitch so well that you have to consider he can't throw in the midweek? This is quite a run he's been on this season.
The reason we took him out after what he threw 39 pitches, 3 innings, is because we got to have him ready for the weekend. And he could get in the rotation on the weekend. Nothing's set in stone. If guys don't, if things aren't going good, or somebody needs a week off, or whatever the case may be, we have no problem starting him and league play or whenever. So yeah, we got him out of there because league play starts and we plan on using him.
I guess we've talked a lot about kind of where the first base battle's been at throughout the entire season. Do you like where that's at headed into SEC play? Yeah,
I'm platooning over there a little bit. I probably don't have to, but I think Rocco he's really good against left-handers, and Cam's really good against the right-handers, but he also shown that he can hit left-handers. But I think the guys have really bought into the team thing, and they're not complaining. They're just showing up and getting ready for their number to be called. But yeah, I like where we are at first, and the left side of the infield's solid and been hitting, and second base, whoever we put out there has played really good defense. We just got to get some production out of that position a little bit, and I think it's coming. Yeah, I like where we're at.
Dave, you probably had 300-plus career innings between those three right-handers you threw tonight. How much of a luxury is that to have that type of experience on a Tuesday?
Yeah, some older guys that have been there and been in the heat of it, whether it's league play or midweek games, and it's nice to be able to, put those guys out there. But at the same time, I really like seeing, Gibbler out there. I mean, they don't hit him. He's hard to hit. Breaking ball's really good. He's got a couple different speeds of it. He's showed you that he's got a tough fastball that has carry, and it might have read 90, 91 on the board, but it looked harder to those hitters. You could tell by the way they were swinging at it. And I wouldn't have one bit of an issue putting him in a really tough situation in a conference game. And, I feel bad that kind of let that runner steal second on us, or just gave it, then they single, and, it gives up a run. But, it's good. I feel good about our guys that threw today, and I could honestly pitch any of them on the weekend and would be fine with it.
I'm sorry, but it was 4-1. They brought in a new reliever, and then within like 5 pitches, it's 9-1. What did you see during that sequence?
Yeah, just that we got a big hit from Iredale, hit to right center on a side armor type guy. Just stayed through the middle of the field, didn't try to do too much, and then Kojal hits the first pitch he sees into the bullpen for a 3-run homer. And yeah, so if you really look at it, on 2 pitches we scored 5 runs. And but what led up to that was some good at bats and a couple of walks hit by pitches or whatever, and they gave us a couple extra at bats, and we took advantage of it.
0 for 7 is not really a big slump in baseball, but with the way Kuhio had been hitting, coming into tonight with a couple hitless games, is there ever any concern with maybe a guy that hasn't experienced that type of level of success, a short kind of brief slump might affect him more? And how have you seen him? He 0 for 3, 0 for 4 is not a big deal, but he had been hitting it so well before.
Yeah, and sometimes it's, are you striking out? And he struck out a couple times with those 7 at bats, but he made contact. I felt like he was pulling off a little bit, trying to do too much, hit the ball too hard, and I don't see any problem with him. He's still smiling all the time. I don't think that he's letting it upset him too much, and there's guys around him that are hitting. And I think as long as we have enough guys going, the other guys are fine. They're not feeling the pressure. Now, if we had like 2 guys hitting, and then maybe guys start to press a little bit, but we're still winning and scoring enough runs.
I don't want to let you know about Ole Miss, but obviously a lot better start, at least, than they had last year. What do you think's changed about them from last season to this season?
I think they're pitching better. They've got their Friday night guy back from a couple years ago that was injured, and he gives them an opportunity to win every time he's on the mound. They've got some right-handers with really good arms, a lot of velocity. They've got some guys in the lineup that are swinging it well and hitting the ball hard and out of the park, and once you get to winning a little bit, you feel like you're going to win, and that program's a winning program, obviously, and so we know that we've got our hands full. Anytime you go on the road in the SEC, you got your hands full, but realistically, it's every weekend.
Same 3 starters for you this weekend?
Yeah, we'll end up throwing the same 3.
I guess you mentioned that you came in second when recruiting Cam out of high school. I'm just wondering, he's made a few defensive plays this year that are maybe unique and, require instincts. Is that something you noticed out of high school when recruiting him, or something that he's developed over the past 2 years?
I just call it a baseball player. He's a baseball player. He's got some feel out there, and, he's a shortstop. Like most all of our infielders that we have in the infield, when they get here, we just move them around. Most of the time they play shortstop. So he's shortstop, tough kid, played other sports. We knew what we were recruiting, and we're just glad we got him here now.
Hey, on those 3 starters, are you playing the same, Gackle and then Root and then Vital season that?
We're not going to announce anything until Thursday. Yeah.
On Elliott, you saw him twice when he was a freshman. I don't think you've seen him since because of the arm injuries.
Right.
Do you look back at that, or do you just expect a totally different
We
pitcher?
watch both, then and now, and see if there's a difference. I mean, he's coming off arm surgery. You know, he's got some intangibles too. You know, I mean, he's tough and he's you know, he's been through it a little bit, and so yeah, you know, you try to evaluate it as best you can through watching him pitch and video and technology and everything else. Bottom line, you got to go out there and try to find a way to score on him. He's tough to score on.
I think just going out there and attacking, being competitive every at bat, separating pitch to pitch. You know, hitting can be really simple. You can make it about as simple as you want it, and I try to stay athletic and be on time. So that's what I've been thinking recently.
How settled do you feel over at first base, and what's maybe been the most difficult part of that transition?
That Friday night in Arlington was the first time in my life I've ever played first base. So, yeah, it just kind of threw me in there, and that was just I had to take a couple of deep breaths in that situation. But it's just being an athlete. If you're a shortstop, you can play anywhere on the field. Feeding off of teammates like Michael Anderson, Rocco Pepe, guys who played the position before, learning from them. So it's been a fun transition.
Cam, the game turned on those couple swings that you and Britt had in the fourth inning after they brought that reliever in. Were you looking for something from him, and did you see it?
Well, I was getting ready to hit. I was like, here we go. Let's attack a fastball, and he's a submarine guy, so it's going to fade away from a lefty. And then they called strike one on me. He said my head wasn't up, so I was like, dang it. And then it was 0-1, and I was like, well, he's still going to throw me a fastball. So saw it well at the hand, and put a good swing on it.
For you and Will, the 10-game homestand ended. You went undefeated. What do you feel like the team learned about itself over the last 2.5 weeks?
I think we can bang the ball around the park a little bit. I don't know. This team's really bonded, but it's been fun just getting to play in front of our fans and getting some experience under our legs before we go hit the road for SEC play.
Cam, had they got you for pitch violations before or first time?
I think that was the first time in my life I ever had that happen. Yeah, that was the first time in my life. I was kind of confused at first, and then the umpire was yelling at me. I was like, okay. So I just got back in the box really quick.
And I guess does your kind of background and being shortstop, being able, kind of really helped you during the transition over to first base?
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you're a shortstop, they can put you anywhere on the field, and you can play and be athletic. So baseball players just stay athletic, and you can pick the ball, you can throw the ball, know the game, just baseball IQ. So, yeah.
Stayed on the bag for me tonight.
Yeah, staying on the bag. But he threw that one, I just stretched my little legs really far. But we stayed on the bag. Stayed on the bag, so that was the important thing.
Will, you know, your past 4 appearances have only been 1 inning, and I know, you know, in your past you've gone a lot. I mean, are you kind of enjoying maybe shortening it up and being able to, I don't know, use more energy in shorter innings? I mean, what's your mindset right now with how you've been performing so far this season?
It's been up and down. I've been frustrated with myself, not executing pitches sometimes, but yeah, it's been fun going at 1-inning stints, but at the same time, I'm just going to do whatever is asked of me.
How does this pitching staff feel different than last year, maybe? It doesn't seem like the strikeouts are like as high as maybe they were last year, but there's more depth. I mean, can you speak on maybe how this year's staff compares to last year, even years before that?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like we're just attacking the zone better than ever. I feel like we say that every year, but I just feel like that's the case. One of our goals right now is just like Coach Hobbs told us tonight, we're leading the SEC in the fewest amount of walks, and so like that's a goal right now is to keep that going because free bases equal runs. So you eliminate those, you can eliminate a lot of runs throughout the season.